Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the shop. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Welcome to another episode of Wednesday Night Quick and Dirty. Well, recently I was up in Republic, Missouri at the Ozark steam-o-rama steam engine show. Part of that show is they have a big flea market up there, and I picked up a couple items. Well, 3 items actually, but I only paid for 2. No, I didn't steal the one. The guy gave it to me. And I'm just going to show you what I got, and because one of them I think is pretty unique. And that's this here steel table. I'm going to get down here. Hopefully I can get a good shot of it. This is about 1 3/8 to 1.5 inches thick top. But looking at it closely after I got it set up here at home, it's almost looking like it's 2 different pieces of metal, about 1/2 inch on top of something else. But I'll investigate that later when I clean it up. You can see some on the corners, some torch work, but it kind of changes right there towards the top. So I'm thinking somebody might have added a piece of 1/2 inch on the top, which I didn't realize at first when I bought it. But it's got pipe legs, 4 of them, some lightweight paneling here between the panels, also across the bottom, sealed up, and it's got a little compartment storage here, compartment there, and a couple of drawers there. The drawers are fairly well built, not great. The handles are pretty cheap. I'm going to replace those, probably make some in my forge. And the bottom is just some lightweight 1/8 inch plywood. I'll probably replace that with something a little beefier. 2 drawers. This part down here is sealed. I'll probably take that off and put a 3rd drawer down there some point, someday. Someday I'll move this into my machine shop whenever I build one, which I do hope to someday. But for now it's out here in the blacksmith area. I'll put it to good work. I could do some lightweight banging, beating on this with some hot metal with light. If it was thin and lightweight, I wouldn't definitely not beat anything heavy. I'd use the forge for that. But when I bought this, the guy that sold me this also threw in this little rusted up punch, screw punch, and it's all locked up. And I think that's going to be a future project when I'm going to try to do a de-rusting. I've watched Mr. Pete's and other guys' videos when they have a tub of borax water with running 12-volt electricity off a battery charger through it, and just in a matter of overnight it peels all the rust off the metal. So I'm going to try that, probably make that my first project, because it is, as you can see, very rusty. Sorry about that. And that's kind of unique, and he threw it in because I was looking at it. He couldn't get anybody to buy it, so he gave it to me. And the other thing, the 3rd thing I got, second thing I bought, actually was the first thing I got when I picked up when I was walking through the flea market area, was this grinder. Now I already have an electric motor that'll go on the back. Kind of rusty, not bad, but it's not too quiet, but those bearings are probably dried up. But one thing I noticed, there's no wiggle in the shaft through the bearing, so it's good and tight. Of course, this grinding wheel is for grinding scythes, sickles, some people call them. I always was told they were called a scythe. You can do one side this way without hitting anything, and then turn it and do that side without hitting anything. And it's just a back with a pulley. I mount the motor somewhere here and run a short pulley to it. You probably use those segmented pulley belts. Paid $10 for this. I can't complain about that. In fact, when I saw it sitting on the ground with this guy and I asked him what he wanted for it, and he said $10, I couldn't get my wallet out fast enough to pay him before he changed his mind, because I thought it was a pretty good price. Prairie brand ball bearing, Prairie Tool Company. Never heard of them. I'll look them up on the internet, see if I can learn anything about them. But for $10, I'm not complaining too bad. The table was substantially more, but again, I thought it was worth it. The price was worth it for me anyway. It is a heavy table. It probably weighs 500 pounds. It was not easy getting it in this area and getting it stood up, because I just pretty much rolled it out of the back of my pickup when I got home that night, and moved it around and leveraged it up and got it to stand up and got it sitting up on those concrete blocks. It's pretty level. I'm sure over time it'll settle into the ground, and then I'll have to shim it or something to keep it level. But somebody welded on a pretty heavy duty channel iron in the back here, maybe for working on round rod or something. But here's where you can kind of see a little better where I think somebody welded on some 1/2 inch, because I don't think this is just a little corner piece right here where this is rounded. It doesn't look like it on the top anyway. Try to show you in there. It does look like there might be something right there, but I'll take a flap disc to it and sand it down and get a better look at it. But there's other spots along here, along these edges. It almost looks like there's a piece on top of another piece of metal. But again, not too bad. I'm not complaining. It's beefy. It is heavy duty bench. Little work table. Anyway, that's that. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon. Y'all have a good one and be safe. Bye-bye.